Hey, Jill here with my next video. Today I decided to do a journal flip. I haven't done a journal flip probably since August. This is my set of journals from 2018. I started in February, so this is 2 months per journal. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I haven't painted this one yet. I used this little one for my Inktober. So this is October, and this one is November, December. These are the Jane Davenport journals. If you've been following my videos, you are familiar with me using them. I wanted them to match for the year, and I am behind. I haven't painted the covers yet on the last two. I actually found it annoying to have to paint the covers. This year, I am going with these Strathmore ones, and I'm just going to leave them brown. Even though the cover got a little messy, I don't care. I'm going to use a metallic marker and put the dates here. But that'll be my next journal flip. We'll worry about that later. So let's put those aside and focus on my journal from November and December. So the front pages. Now, I hope everything's in the camera. I took down my camera setup to go on vacation, and I took it with me, and I really had a hard time this morning setting up my camera so I could get everything in the picture, and I don't know why. It's going to take some fiddling. So, Jane Davenport journal, my November, December calendars, my oil notes, a little bit of memorabilia. We went to Williamsburg, Virginia. This is a card that was sent to me with different oil mixes on it. So that's neither here nor there. This is my first journal page. This was 11/1, and it was water-soluble graphite and some journaling. I'm going to try and move quickly. Look, we're all the way back. Right now it's what, March 2nd, and this was my fall journaling. That's how far behind I am in flips. So I practiced some leaves in watercolor, and there was a challenge. Danielle Meck had issued a challenge for a fall journal page. So using fine liner masking fluid and watercolors, I did this girl, and some stamping over here in the background. I like her. This whole next series you'll see was touched off by Christy Sobolewski. I do her live streams. At this point, I think she was on Patreon, but now she does it through her website. In order to attend her live streams, you have to join up on her website. Check it out. It's Gulf Sprite. You pay a monthly fee, and you can join her live streams Saturday nights, depending on how much you pay, how many Saturdays you can attend. And almost everything I do, I reference Christy, because I swear she has done every process. But what I do is I attend her live streams, and it touches off whole series of work. So I take what I see at the live stream, and I go with it. And it really influences what I'm working on at the time. So this was collage, acrylic collage napkins and papers, stenciling, acrylic paint, and then some charcoal and I believe watercolor on top. She had done one that was really bright. It was black and white and a single bright color. So this is stenciling Jane Davenport ink. It was, let me see if I can reach it. It was this Jane Davenport Limeade, which I love this ink. It's a nice color, but it reacts to water, so I have a hard time finding ways to use it. This was a good way because it was simple. I stenciled it on. I used it with acrylic paint, and this was all acrylic paint. So anyway, here's another one. 100% influenced by her live stream. It was making borders with stamps and stencils, painting with acrylic paint, leaving some white space. I love this white space. I could journal in here, but somehow I feel like, okay, this girl is here, and you're looking into the distance there. And who knows what's back there, but I love that white space, so I didn't journal in it. And this is making use of stamps that I've had sitting. I hardly ever use my stamps, and I have so many. I love this page. Limited colors. I think I only used 3 colors of paint on that. And you can see a theme here. I'm doing the same process over and over. Layering stamps, acrylic paint, simple faces with either charcoal or some water-soluble medium. Could be Stabilo All. I don't even remember. I didn't take notes. These are Christie's stencils. You also have the option of buying her stencils. I signed up for the 4 live streams and a stencil a month, so I'm looking forward to getting some new stencils from her. She designs them herself. She cuts them on her machine. This is her stencil. This was based on another one of her live streams using stamps and stencils and acrylic ink. I believe this might be charcoal and watercolor. Okay, I'm going to interrupt here with a quick disclaimer. At least 6 or 8 times in this video, I said acrylic ink instead of acrylic paint. I don't know where my brain is today and why I keep saying acrylic ink instead of acrylic paint. Each time that happens in the video, I'll put the words up that say, there again. I didn't want to remake the whole video, so I apologize for that. I'll add titles to let you know where I messed up, and enough said. What else can I say? Sometimes the brain and the mouth just don't connect. Thank you. Again, collage. This was Christie's, one of her packets she sent me as part of a previous Patreon reward, had her doodle pages on it. So she stenciled and doodled on this page. I ripped this part off, collaged it in. Since I own the same stencil, I continued the same stencil work. I love that. So there's collage under there, there's acrylic paint, there's probably Jelly Roll pen. My favorite thing to do, my Lamy fountain pen with platinum brown ink. Beautiful page. I considered this page a fail. People tell me I'm crazy, but I did her face. I think I tried to use my mermaid markers. I was so unhappy with her face, but I filled it up with writing and line work and called it a day. Once again, using my stamps, layered collage, acrylic, stencils, and putting a face on top. Underneath here, you would never know it, is all brochures and papers I collected in Williamsburg, Virginia. So it peeks through different things that I remember on brochures and places we visited in Williamsburg, but you would probably never see it. Okay, this was acrylic paint scraped with a gift card, a stamp to make a border, and I don't even remember. Oh, that's my Lamy black fountain pen, and that I added water to and drew on top. Added a few white highlights. This was, I had seen around Veterans Day, these poppies on Pinterest. A lot of people do these poppies, the red blotch with the lines, and I love them. And I thought I could add them to a page, and it says never forget, 11/11/18. Watercolor and pen work. This page I struggled with and had to redo a couple of times. It was layered acrylics and stencils and some metallic. I don't know if you can see the metallic paints in there. I tried to limit it to black, white, and silver, so there's shades of gray, because I'm obviously mixing the black and the white. And I had the 2 girls' faces, and I love this girl's face down here. I didn't use a reference pic for either one of them. They're just out of my imagination, but she looks very emotional. It was so busy, I had asked Christy for advice, and she suggested creating some white space. So I did. I don't know. It probably could use some journaling in there, but I had worked on it long enough. I left it alone. 2 different girls, collage, acrylic paints. This was a napkin collaged on. This was probably Stabilo All pencil in her hair. This one as well was a lot of Stabilo All. Christie's stencils. I love the colors in this. I really like this girl. She's okay, but I really like this girl, and I created it later, a large canvas. If you follow me on Instagram, I created a large 18 by 24 canvas painting based on this girl because I really like the composition. Okay, acrylic paint face, a little bit of water-soluble medium. I liked it just like that. I thought she was very striking, decided to leave her. This is my Lamy fountain pen, my black activated with water, a little bit of acrylic in the background. You can see what I learned in the live stream started evolving into different use of acrylics. I hadn't been using so much acrylics at the time, so it starts turning into different processes, and I like that. I did a video on this, so if you want to see how this was made, check my video. This was the leftover paint scraped on my Lamy fountain pen. Drew the girls on top. Some doodling. I can't even remember what I made videos on. For some reason, did I make a video on this? I don't even know. Acrylic ink, some negative painting in the background. I like this page. Her face is so goofy. If I could cover up her mouth, look, she's beautiful to there. Something went wrong with the mouth and the chin. But I used the negative painting to push back the background. I like the pen work in her hair. I think I used a brush pen, and I used a stencil and a pen for some doodle work in the background. Okay, Lamy Safari fountain pen with black ink, and I added some watercolor on top. I believe this was my Renaissance watercolor. I liked it. It's the black and white with a touch of one color. I like the way the wet watercolor reacted with the pen. And that was just a quick study. I like her expression. I took it a little further here, probably too far. I started with the fountain pen. And, you know, my pen marks show in here, but that never bothers me. A certain amount don't activate with the water. I added a lot of different colors of watercolor. I think maybe her face got a little too messy. It's a little too much, but I still like it. So now, see, I started a whole different direction. It was all about acrylic, and now it switched somehow back here to the fountain pen. And I was interested in this, so I continued. 2 more faces, fountain pen and watercolor, did I? I did the video on this one, I believe. Before I did this video, I should have gone back and looked. So some of this is in my videos, how to use the fountain pen and the watercolor. Check it out. I like these 2 girls. This girl, once again, I went too far. Too much messy watercolor in her face. It got too muddy. This is a very Christy style from Gulf Sprite. Doodling and background. A little piece of doodle lace across the top. She does ribbons and laces across. That's influenced heavily by Christy. But the face bothered me. It went too messy, although play is always good. So I went back to what I'm comfortable with, which is my earth brown, mixable ink, my fountain pen, soft face, doodling, scribble journaling, and a Zentangle type background. So, fountain pen again. Just a study, trying to get different angles of faces, different expressions. This I scraped acrylic ink with a card. I believe 3 colors, like a flesh tone, a pink, and a brown. Went over top. I used an image out of a fashion magazine. I very rarely do a full figure, and I was really pleased with how that came out. I don't know why I didn't do more. It's just simply my Lamy fountain pen and a little bit of Stabilo All, where the fountain pen didn't become dark enough for me. I really like this. I should pursue this further. More layering of paint, stencils. I believe this was a video. I like her, even though she's rather alien cream face looking. So we're up to 11:30. We're at the end of November. Christy did a live stream where she had a bunny in the background, and she did a very whimsical, stylized bunny. Mine, I mean, it's not realistic, but it's less whimsical than hers was. So that's why I have a girl and a bunny. And our discussion in the live streams are fun. I've gotten to know the women on the live streams, and we talked about the song Mad World and the Donnie Darko movie. So a lot of my, and somebody suggested I look up John Muir and different things. So they're just writings in the background. It's a nice memory. I remember that evening and doing that page. Another girl with layered acrylic stencils and drawing on top. Some journaling. Another black, white, and gray page. I decided to give it another go. Acrylic. This is a lot of acrylic ink. And a brush pen. Probably a Pentel Feud brush pen for the journaling there. So this is my TWSBI Eco fountain pen with an aqua blue ink in it. A couple different girls. I tried to make a little girl here. I think I was successful. She looks like a little girl. I love this kind of doodling in the background. I can do that forever. More doodling that I activated with water down here. Fountain pen. Line work that I didn't activate with water. My other color fountain pen in the background, and I like blurring it out. This girl I drew with a color erase pencil, intending to paint over it, and I liked her so much I decided to leave her. It's really pretty. Maybe someday I'll go back and use that, either trace it with a piece of deli paper and use it for something else, or scan it. I don't know. I really like her. This girl's a little bit too big and too much. Fountain pen. That must have been one of the Pentel brush pens, watercolor background. Christy, part of her reward, sends little artworks. This is a Christy face. Absolutely beautiful. I aspire to making watercolor look that nice. So I taped it on top, did a collage. This is collage from scrapbook paper. Painted the face. You can see my different papers underneath. Different pen, I guess pen work on top here. No, that's pencil. And I have her little picture flapped over top. I like that, with some washi tape. I have several other. She sent me a lot of work, and I have several other pieces to incorporate in. Pardon me while I reach. Look at this one. I hope the plastic's not creating too much glare. Isn't that beautiful? That's from Christy as well. It's got everything on there. It's so beautiful. I don't want to touch it. Here's more in the back. I hope to incorporate those in a page somewhere, or maybe I'll just frame that one. I don't know. But I keep it here on my table so I can look at it. Okay. This page I'm really pleased with. My earth brown ink and my fountain pen, and I had seen this doodle design online. Maybe it was Maroodles, I don't know, or on Instagram, and I liked it, and it was simple, and it was fun, and it was really appealing, so I carried it over into this page. This is kind of like, sort of like a stone wall. It's in her shirt. The same doodling's in the giraffe. It was hard to put a giraffe in a picture with a girl, and I don't even remember why I decided I had to put a giraffe in there, but it's cute. I'm going to start moving more quickly. I got a long way to go. These are, I bought a new set, I should have brought them up, of gray tone markers. So there were cool grays and warm grays. So these girls' faces are done completely with marker. I don't believe I used any pencil. I just started with the lightest gray markers, went darker, 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 doodling in the background with I'm sure, a Jelly Roll pen. I should do more of this. These girls made me really happy. There's not enough time in life to follow everything that makes me happy. Acrylic ink, stencils, watercolor. Here's this. Doesn't this look like the mom from the Brady Bunch? Somehow that just happened. I don't think I had a reference pic. Maybe it's the hair and the old school shirt. Just different doodlings, my different fountain pens. The same stencil I used over here, I had some got over here, I don't know how or why, so I incorporated that in. I had messed up her face big time, tried to repair it, left it alone. This is doodling in her hair with fountain pens. Some of it's activated. This pink is a bit much. This girl, I did spray ink in the background. I have a set of spray inks I very rarely use. And this was, I believe, look, I'm going to reach again, pardon me. I believe it was this ink, which tells me I really, either that or I used one of the spray inks. That's probably what I did. I used one of the spray inks out of the bottle with a brush. Her face is a little too busy, but it was fun. I did doodling according to the stencil and my scribble writing. Kara Bullock, I take lessons from Christy at Gulf Sprite every week, and I have followed Christy for years. She's my main teacher, but I have also done a Year of Life book and an Ever After with Tamara Laporte. This year I signed up with Kara Bullock's Let's Face It for a different lesson a week for the year, all on faces to get exposed to different artists. I want to get exposed to as many different people and styles and techniques as I can. Kara Bullock did a free lesson with a pencil sketch. I enjoyed that. I really like this pose, so I put it here with fountain pen and activate it with water. I believe, see, I used this one here. That's a bit busy, isn't it? But I had fun doodling. Put some watercolor in the back, doodled over it with white pen. Another girl, fountain pen and watercolor, and doodling in the background. Fountain pen, just another girl. It's always a girl. Maybe I should try some men. Maybe I should try some other things. I like to put down watercolor first and then paint on top and find shapes in the background. She's beautiful. I like her. Fountain pen doodling, fountain pen doodling. I seem to never get tired of that. Fountain pen, and I used I believe a pencil to try and make these extensions in her hair have texture. This is layered paper napkins, acrylic watercolor face on top. Pretty. This is an old picture I pulled out of an old Reader's Digest condensed, and obviously it's a sketch of a girl sketching. I liked her pose, so I tried to recreate it here with my fountain pen. Acrylic paint, stencils. These are stencils I hand cut myself out of file dividers that like you use in school with the tabs. Acrylic ink and water soluble. This is water soluble, probably Stabilo all pencil and charcoal. More of the same, stencil, acrylic, water soluble on top. This, I used a reference picture to break out of this is not particularly my style, but I wanted more of a whimsical, funky expression, head tilt, whatever. Same thing. Acrylic paint, stencil, and I'm not sure what the brown is. Might be a mermaid marker. It's probably a mermaid marker. This girl, I heavily collaged the background with all different kinds of things. I drew her first, though, collaged the background in, and then painted over it. These lines, this line work here didn't turn out the way I intended. Yeah, so I just moved on. I love her expression. My Lamy fountain pen. My nod to Christmas. We're at Christmas 2018. Poinsettia collaged out of, you recognize this paper? I put a huge sheet of this paper, and I add it once in a while to different collages. Some acrylic paint here in the background. Some Stabilo all pencil for the black. She's too much. Stencil. I should have probably put a little paint over her face and neck to tone down her face. Some of the paint, I was really messy that day. Some of the paint got over here. I just put a fountain pen girl and journaling on top. Giant face. I wanted to cover 2 pages. Fountain pen, watercolor, and I'm pretty sure this is mermaid marker. A lot of this is mermaid marker. Acrylic paint, some water soluble Stabilo. I like her. My daughter-in-law for Christmas gave me a set of Speedball calligraphy ink jars, and this was the sticker off the top of the palette when I opened it up. And these are all the different color inks. There's some metallics in there. I don't know if you can see them. Used with brushes and dip pens. So interesting. I could do some more work with those. It's a whole nother set of inks I have now. This girl, boy, I started her out with this intense background and continued, and then was kind of sorry. This took a lot of time and got too tedious for me. So I decided to leave these big open spaces. Some of this black must have not been dry. It transferred over here, but that doesn't bother me. So, fountain pen, Feud brush pen, Jelly Roll. This was the brush pen with a white Jelly Roll over top, but it really didn't want to go over top of that Feud brush pen. It was tedious, but pretty cool page, isn't it? All right, we're at the end. I hope this didn't go too long. For the last 2 pages, I took different, these are my grandsons. Aren't they beautiful? They're Christmas pictures. This was the Christmas card from my son and his wife and their kids. Different people that are important to me that sent cards. I thought, you know, what, these just accumulate, floating around, I don't know, in boxes and stuff. I thought, why not put them in my back of my book? Look, it's busy. It's not like a super pretty page. There's all this washi tape, but it doesn't matter. The people that are important to me are in the back of my book. So, thank you for watching my journal flip. My goal this weekend is to paint my last 2, put the dates on the end, get them lined up in the shelf. 2018's done. My little journal from October has a little more work left to do in it. I have to finish it up. And my next journal flip will be January and February from 2019. Hope you liked it. Hope I didn't go on too long. Hope you were inspired. Let me know. Leave me a comment. See you soon with a process video. Thanks for watching.